Hi, I'm Ricky. I am one half of the tender trainers. So we train subcontractors on how to tender effectively. Our goal is basically to help make this process as simple and successful as possible so you can win those bigger contracts with less stress. I try and do this regularly. Feel free to jump on, DM me a question or ask me anything. Hit me up. Well, all right, let's get into it. So, what I've chosen to talk about today is the power of tender programs and what are the benefits of completing a tender program. So, why go to the effort at all? I did a live on this topic actually almost 2 years to the day ago, but I think it's so important that I thought it's worth a refresh. Right. So programs, right? They aren't always requested as part of your return. I would say as well, most companies, they're not completing them with their tenders, whether requested or not requested. But they are hugely beneficial if you do complete them, and not just in the tender, but also when it comes time to deliver. So not only that, but they are one of the most underrated ways that you can make your tender stand out when you include them with your submission, particularly when most people aren't doing them, right? So why are they powerful? I'd like to talk about that. So to start with, for the client, why would the client like to receive a program with the tender? So firstly, it shows when you submit a tender with your program, it shows the client that you have the capability to do a program. So it shows them you have the capability to program. This is good to know. Secondly, it shows the client that you've thought about how to build the job. I used to worry when I just see a price and I'm just worrying that they're pricing completely in isolation and not really thinking about my job. But when I get a program, it shows that you've thought out the job. You've got the time frame that you need to do the job in, etc. You've really thought about how the job's going to be built, and you're showing it visually. In addition, visually, the program, it's also showing the client your lead time. So particularly if you have a long lead time material item, you show this on the program, in particularly the tender program. So if you can't get material X for 6 weeks, put it on the program, show the client that there's a lead time for that item. Visually, it's also going to show the client how much time you need to mobilize. So from contract award, do you need a week? Do you need 2 weeks to mobilize? You're showing this on the program. You're showing them how much time you need them to give you. It shows obviously how long you need to do the job. So how long the build would be. So whether it be 16 weeks or 10 weeks or 1 year, you show that on the program, how long you need to do the job. Or alternatively, if the client has said that they need the job done in 16 weeks, in this instance, I would still be doing a program, but I would be returning them a program showing them that you can do it in 2 weeks, 16 weeks. So it's confirmation to the client that you can meet their durations, which again is a big tick for the client. A couple other things as well. It's showing the client how many visits you've allowed for. So is it one continuous visit or is it, broken up into multiple visits? And it's showing the client what your prelims are based on as well. So this is all really good information to see, and it's very easy format with the program, with the dates and the Gantt chart, and having completed and reviewed tenders a lot sitting on the main contractor side. Whenever I got a program, it was a big tick for me for like that company as a quality company that knows what they're doing. Right, so let's flip the coin then. Why is a program beneficial for you to complete at the tender stage? So firstly, it gets you thinking about the job from contract award to completion. So when I estimate, I used to do a lot more estimates than I do now. I still do some estimates, but whenever I'm estimating, this is probably like front up one of the first things that I'll do. I create the program. I have a think about the job, and I put it down on a program. So it really helps me get my head around the job and understand the sequence and understand the time that we need to build the job, etc. It's a good first activity to do. The program also is a pricing tool, right? So your labor, your plant, your prelims, they should be priced off the program. So the program gives you your construction duration. If you're not doing a program, it's a lot like, where are you getting the number from? But that program is how long you need your prelims on the job for, right? That program is how long you need your labor from the job for and your plant. So you should be using the program as a pricing tool. Now, another point here, when you submit the program with your tender, if the client wants something different, so for example, if you've showed one continuous visit, but the client actually needs you to demob for a bit in the middle there and break, so you need actually 2 visits, it's going to trigger a pricing exercise as well, because you're showing them that you've allowed for 1 continuous visit. If they want something different, i.e. 2 or more visits, then it triggers a pricing exercise. So that's where you can come back and say, okay, no problems, I'll relook at my price and allow for more visits. Additionally, when you price from the program, I mentioned this before, but it also becomes a delivery tool. So when it comes time to deliver the job, you've won the work, and now we need to build it. If you meet the tender program, you're on budget. If you go over the tender program, you've gone over your budget. So you know that you need to better the tender program, and you know that you need to drive the program to better the tender program so that you come under budget with those elements, labor, plant, and prelims. Also, having the tender program that you priced off, when this becomes part of the handover to the team that is delivering the job, if it is a different team, it might be you who's done the tender and delivering the job, so you might have a connection with that program already. It's going to help you, one, identify program-related variations, and 2, it's going to help you substantiate it and get paid for the variation. I.e., you can use the program, you can baseline the tender program, and you can show cause and effect for delays and other elements that can then be substantiated for your variation and helping you get paid. Okay, so hopefully, that you can see the benefit of programs, right? And why we kind of talk about them being done with every program, every tender. Now, the tender program, it doesn't need to be a complex thing. At the tender stage, we're keeping it simple. We're keeping it quite high-level activities rather than going into the detail. So just for example, in terms of concrete, you might, what I'm talking about here is a detailed program would be complete the formwork, lay the reinforcement, pour the concrete. We're not going into that detail. We're just having that as one activity, a simple program where it's more form reapport. So I hope that makes sense. So yeah, if you're not currently creating a program with your tender, I would highly recommend you bring this into the process for the reasons that we just went through then. When we train our clients using a program in the tender and the delivery, this is a really important element, and it falls into our 2nd and 4th P of our 4 Ps of tendering. So it falls into P2 of pricing, and it also falls into P4 protection. So summarizing this, as well as being a document that can make your tender stand out with your submissions, tender program, it's also going to help you with your pricing. It's going to be a delivery tool as well that can help keep you on track with your budget. Okay, yeah, that's it for today. Stay tuned. I'll cover another impactful tendering topic soon. I try to do them quite frequently. If you found this useful, check out our YouTube channel, The Tender Trainers. We have a bunch more free content on there. We also hold a monthly tender talk, which is our free training session. So the next one will be coming up in a few weeks. So yeah, DM me if you'd like to come to the next one, and I'll make sure you get the invite. Yeah, that's it. Thank you, and see you again soon.